so now our last but not least group, Group O, will talk about Ode to Joy, worldwide anthem of freedom, peace, and unity. And here to talk about it will be Ms. Sashmika Veliveli and Mr. Calvin Lee.
Symphony No. 9, Ode to Joy. Now, many of you probably know the symphony because you've heard it in church or movies, and we've already had presentations about it before. This symphony is a worldwide anthem of peace, freedom, and unity. And although it's very well known, what you may not know is that it was actually first inspired by a poem. This poem was by Friedrich Schiller, and the theme of this poem is about freedom. It states that if freedom, happiness, and justice is the center of your life, then peace and kindness will automatically follow. Now, one key line in this poem is that all the world received their kicks. Now, what does that mean? Well, it means that all the world should receive joy and hope. This directly aligns with Beethoven's morals, and this was significant to Beethoven and inspired him to write the universal melody we now know as Ode to Joy. Now, let's take a look back at some history of what may have inspired Beethoven. Europe. Europe was going through a very rough time, and they were going through a Napoleonic War. During this time, Beethoven was living in Vienna, Austria, to study with his musical hero, Haydn. Now, due to the war, many people had fled the country, and many people were very hopeless. As Europe was losing hope, Beethoven was also losing hope. This hopeless feeling can be heard in the song, as it starts off in G minor. Since Europe was losing hope, Beethoven was losing hope, and some factors that contributed to this was his hero Haydn had passed away and he was practically deaf. Now, Beethoven, a world-renowned musician, practically deaf, that's unheard of, no pun intended. Now, although Beethoven was going through a hard time, this inspired him to bring back hope for himself and for everyone else. This furthermore influenced the making of the famous piece, Ode to Joy. The meaning of this piece was influenced by a philosophical movement called the Age of Enlightenment.
The Age of Enlightenment was a philosophical movement in Europe which Beethoven was influenced by because it emphasized freedom and self-determination. Additionally, Ode to Joy emphasizes the value of unity rather than war. It represents freedom and peace. This hopefulness and sense of freedom can be represented in the song as it changes to G major. In 1972, the Council of Europe adopted Beethoven's Ode to Joy theme as its anthem. In 1985, it was adopted by the European Union leaders as the official anthem of the European Union. They used Ode to Joy as their anthem because it symbolizes not only the European Union, but also Europe in a wider sense. The melody of Beethoven's Ninth Symphony was chosen as the European Union anthem because it was being frequently played and it was easily recognized by the European population. The anthem represents the triumph of universal brotherhood against war and desperation. Not only Ode to Joy was the European Union anthem, but it was also performed in many political events. For example, the Chinese students broadcasted Ode to Joy at Tiananmen Square. The students called for an end to corruption within the Chinese Communist Party, as well as democratic reforms, freedom of the press, freedom of the speech, social equality, and democratic input on economic reforms. Ode to Joy was also conducted by and performed by Leonard Bernstein on Christmas Day after the fall of the Berlin Wall. And at Daiku, every December in Japan, and after the 2011 tsunami, they played Ode to Joy. Overall, Ode to Joy is known as across the world and plays a big part in the legacy of Beethoven left behind. And that's Beethoven's Ode to Joy. Thank you for your time.